Here with Derek Santos, you got the big win, coach. Your fighter got it done. Obviously, you with all the experience in boxing, do you feel there was a premature stoppage, or you think they did the right thing and they saved the legend in Evander Holyfield?
Man, in this sport, and I can understand what the ref, he told me that. He said, I didn't need to see anymore. I had to err. Even if I erred, he said, I erred on the side of safety and precaution. And so he stood by his decision to stop that fight, and I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? I'm okay with the stoppage. That fight got accelerated a lot quicker than I thought it was going to be. It is what it is, man. Evander Holyfield, I have a great amount of respect for him. He was great. He still is great, and after he dies, he's going to be a great. You know what I mean? So
he wants a rematch. I walked with him to the back. He's like, look, we need to do it again. It was a premature stoppage. The referee didn't know what he was doing. But I talked to Vitor. He's saying, Canelo? I mean, you think your fighter's ready for Canelo at 185?
Vitor is a fighter's fighter. And what I mean by that is, like, Vitor is, obviously, if business makes sense, Vitor's willing to fight anybody. He's never, literally...
Willing to fight and being able to win is two different things. What sort of shot do you give him versus Canelo Alvarez, who's in his prime?
That's obviously a very difficult mountain to climb. But the man is willing to climb the mountain, so who am I to tell him he can't do it? Listen, I've seen him train harder than all my young guys, and put in more time and more dedication and more focus. Even for this, as we were training for Oscar, 4 months. He promised me when he came in, he says, I'm going to give you all my effort and attention, and he did.
Wow.
So, like, everybody has a puncher's chance, but yeah, of course, obviously Canelo is literally the best boxer in the world right now. I don't, the only people who are going to dispute that are the haters, just like the haters that used to dispute that Mayweather was not the greatest fighter when he was the greatest fighter.
So, when you're thinking of Canelo, you think he takes that fight with Vitor? I mean, because he did have sort of a distaste when it came to Jake Paul, calling him out. He's like, I'm not saying he called it a circus, but, he has his thoughts on these
with
particular
all due respect
events.
with Canelo, I respect Canelo. Canelo still has a lot of fights to make right now in his division. He still wants to unify. He still has fights to make. Yeah, and I think that at this stage of his career is more important than Canelo. And otherwise, people are still talking about him and Vitor, which, is even me, if I was Canelo's trainer, would be like, hey, that's that. I don't know if I want that fight. You know what I mean? But that would be a barn burner. That would be very interesting.
So if not Canelo, for Mr. Belfort, who would you want as a trainer? Who are you recommending?
I
can't. Jake Paul.
I can't. Well, you heard them, right? They said $25 million, right?
He told me $30 million for Jake,
30
$40 million for
Listen, Jake Paul.
You think
they're
Jake
willing
is the
to
right
give
way?
us? Yeah, no, Jake is bigger than him. I know Jake. I've seen Jake spar.
No, me too.
He's bigger than him. He's bigger. He can punch, and he can punch. He's bigger. I've seen him work. Jake, baby, let's make some money, man. You know what I mean? It's business. It's a fight. We're gonna give you a tough fight. At the end of the day, it is what it is. We'll see who clears the smoke.
You think that's possible now that he's with Showtime? He's got like maybe a 2-3 fight deal with Showtime.
What I've noticed about boxing, man, and these fights is anything is possible.
Yeah.
Anything is possible. And when we're talking about those kind of numbers and that kind of attraction and that kind of viewership and the kind of brands and sponsors that comes to that type of event, anything's possible. Showtime may be like, hey, you know what? Go do that and give us our percentage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
All right, well, Mr. Dos Santos, thank you, man, so much, man. We appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
All right, Derek Santos, ladies and gentlemen.